Let's be real, when you hear the word crypto, your mind probably jumps to speculation, right? To hype, to numbers going up and down. But what if that exact same technology could be used for something more? What if it could actually fund real world change? Well, today, we're diving into a project called GenaImpact that's built on that very idea, connecting digital money directly to positive social impact. So, to really get what GenaImpact is about, you kind of have to see the two different paths a crypto project can take. On one side, you've got the hype train. Think meme coins that are basically built on buzz and, well, not much else. But on the other side, where GenaImpact is, you've got projects built on purpose, where the entire financial engine is designed from the get-go to actually do some good in the world.
So here's the nuts and bolts of it. GenaImpact runs on its own crypto token, which is called GEN. You can think of GEN as the fuel for the whole project. Every transaction, every tool, everything built around it is designed to funnel resources toward positive change. They're basically trying to bake a social mission right into the DNA of the currency itself.
But look, for a token like GNM to have any kind of impact, people need to be able to use it, right? They have to be able to buy it, sell it, trade it. And in the world of decentralized finance, that marketplace is powered by something called a liquidity pool. It's the engine that makes all the trading possible. And that leads us to this really fundamental question. In a world with no central company, no New York Stock Exchange, how does trading even happen? How can a brand new token like GNM just become tradable? The answer is actually surprisingly clever. The solution is what's called a liquidity pool. Now, don't let the name scare you off. It sounds way more technical than it is. At its heart, it's just a big shared pot of tokens that's locked in a smart contract, and anyone can dip into it to make a trade. Let's break that down even more. Let's use a super simple analogy. Just picture a pot. Into that pot, somebody puts one type of token, let's say USDC, which is a stablecoin. Then they add an equal value of another token, in our case, GNM. And that's it. Boom. Congratulations, you've just created a liquidity pool. It's really that simple. And because that pot is now sitting there with both tokens inside, it instantly becomes a little marketplace. Anybody who wants to buy GNIM can just put their USDC into the pot and take GNM out. And if they want to sell, they do the exact opposite. It's all automated, it's instant, it just works. Now, of course, this handy little service isn't totally free. To make it all worthwhile, every single trade that goes through that pool pays a tiny little fee. And in decentralized finance, the standard fee is almost always this number you see here, 0.3%. It sounds like nothing, but this tiny fraction is the absolute key to the whole system. So this is where it gets really, really interesting. You've got this 0.3% fee being collected from thousands, maybe millions of trades. It all starts to add up. So where does all that money actually go? To a company? To the developers who wrote the code? Who gets paid? The answer to that question introduces us to the real heroes of this story. See, it's not a company that gets those fees. It's the actual people who made that pool possible in the first place. We call them liquidity providers. And here is where you see the magic of decentralization in action. The rewards, those fees, go directly to the individuals who put their own tokens into that shared pot. By providing the assets, they provide the service, and so they earn the reward. There's no corporate middleman taking a cut. So to put a label on it, a liquidity provider, or an LP for short, is just any user who deposits their crypto into a pool to get it started. They are literally the backbone of all decentralized trading. And their motivation is pretty clear. They get a piece of that 0.3% fee from every single trade that uses their money. All right, theory is great, but let's make this really concrete. Let's look at a quick example with some actual numbers to see how someone would set up a pool and become a liquidity provider. So, let's say you're an early supporter of GenaImpact. You could provide, just for example, $50,000 worth of USDC. And then you'd also provide the equivalent value in GEM tokens, say 5 million of them. You just deposit both of those into the smart contract. The second you do that, the market is live. The pool is officially open for business. Trades can start happening right away, and because you're the one who provided the assets to make it all possible, you will now start earning your share of the fees from every single swap. Okay, so let's just tie this all together. GenaImpact kicks off with this big mission to fund real-world causes. That mission is powered by its token, GNIM. For that token to be useful, it needs liquidity pools, those pots of tokens. and those pools are filled by users, the LPs, who get rewarded with trading fees for doing it. You see how it creates this awesome, self-sustaining financial loop, all built by its own community.
The technical name for this whole thing is a liquidity pool. But when you step back, the core idea is really just about pooling resources for a shared benefit. And that brings us right back to the whole point of GenaImpact. It really makes you wonder, right? Beyond just profits, what if the future of finance is less about individual gain and more about pooling our resources for a greater good?